Balbodh Patmala 3. Let's begin. Today we will ask Hetvi to recite, or actually because it's your first class or maybe second class, Purva will recite today. Purva, where is your sister?
She's joining.
She's joining. Okay. Purva, begin to recite Namokar mantra.
Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayayanam, Namo.
Wait. Namo Ayariyaram. Don't eat your words.
Namo Ayayanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loye Sarva Sahunam, Eso Pancha Namo Yaro, Sarva Pava Panasano, Mamilarancha Sarvesim, Paramam Hoi Mangalam, Paramam Hoi Mangalam.
Chattari Mangalam. Purva, try. Chattari Mangalam.
Chattari Mangalam, Arianta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevalipanato, Dhammo Mangalam. Chattari Loguttama, Arianta Loguttama, Siddha Loguttama, Sahu Loguttama, Kevalipanato, Dhammo Loguttama. Chattari Sharanam Pavajami, Aryante Sharanam Pavajami, Siddhe Sharanam Pavajami, Sahu Sharanam Pavajami, Kevali Panatam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajami.
Kevali Panatam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajami. Try.
Kevali Panatam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajami.
Now let's continue with the lesson book 3. Hi Hanika, how are you?
Fine.
Good. Hetvi, turn on your video because I want to speak to you. We're doing a book called Balbodh Patmala 3 and we are in the, I think it is we have finished the second chapter. Now we are going to the third chapter, 8 fundamentals of the householders. So Hanika, we are called householders, isn't it? Because we have not yet taken monkhood. Purva, is that clear? That we are still called householders, and what are our 8 fundamentals, or what should we do? That is what this book is, this chapter will now explain. Okay, Hetvi, will you read? Hetvi, will you read or shall I read? Okay, I will begin maybe.
Not okay.
Okay, don't worry. What is there in that bottle? Subodh is saying there is honey. So I think everybody knows what is honey, isn't it? Everybody knows what is honey. So now Prabodh is saying, what for? Subodh is saying, the medicine prescribed by the doctor is to be taken with honey or sugar syrup. As such, I have brought this from the market. Now, who doesn't know what is honey? I think everybody knows what is honey. Isn't it, Vritti? Do you know what is honey? It is a mustard yellow sort of color. It's not really yellow. You can't say it's yellow, but it's a brownish color.
Late.
Sorry?
Sorry, I was late because I was doing homework.
Okay, no problem. Prabodh, So you take honey, do you? This is a very impure substance. Now, why is it impure? Because if it is in the medicine, so now let's understand. It is nothing but the secretion of the beehive, and it involves violence of countless moving creatures. One should never take it. Hanika, so why shouldn't we take honey? Let's try to understand what Arihant Bhagwan is telling us. Because Arihant Bhagwan is telling us for a reason, because he always wants the best for us. Arihant Bhagwan and Acharya Bhagwan always want the best for us. They will never say anything to us which is not in our benefit. Hanika, I will answer your question afterwards. Hi, Panthi. So this in this chapter,
Komal auntie, I don't have a question. I have the answer to your question.
Okay, answer.
The answer is that when you have honey, right? When they try to make honey, or when they get the honey, try to get it from the bees, they have to kill the bees to get the honey, because or else the bees will sting them and they will get hurt. So they burn the honey hive and the beehive, and they kill all the bees inside,
Okay.
and then they remove the honey.
Okay, Fiona, speak what you want to.
I also had the answer that the bees, they add smoke, so then they get drowsy.
Oh, very good. See, both of you are very smart. Now, I didn't know what Fiona said, because that's the first time also I'm listening. So it's good that you also contributed. Now let's try to understand. Priyala, give me a few minutes and then you can talk. So what this is trying to say, that it is the secretion. What do we secrete from our body? We secrete stool. Isn't it true, Dia and Anya? That humans will secrete stool and they will secrete mucus from the nose. Isn't that correct? And we also secrete urine. Now, the secretion of the bees is called honey. Do you want to eat it, Ahil? Because imagine you are eating, okay, this is not a very nice example, but you have to understand what we're talking about. Imagine if somebody asks us to eat the stool of our body. Will we eat it, Panthi? We will we will not eat, because we will think, oh my God, this is so disgusting. How can I eat this? So this is what Acharya Bhagwan and Arihant Bhagwan, both of them are telling us, that honey is actually the secretion. It is the stool, it is the urine, it is the mucus of the bees. So this is not what a scientist is saying, but this is what Acharya Bhagwan is saying. Remember, always remember, Acharya Bhagwan has got 100 times more knowledge than any scientist. A scientist is obviously, he's an intelligent man and he's doing a lot of research in the laboratory, which is very good. But remember, Acharya Bhagwan has got 100 times, or you can even say 1,000 times more knowledge than maybe 10 million scientists together. So Acharya Bhagwan is telling us that we should not eat honey because it is not good for the body, number one. And number two, a lot of violence is caused. Dia and Anya, is that clear? I think it is clear by looking at Briela's face. I think she has agreed. Panthi, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so one should never take it. Now Subodh is saying, yes, brother. Yes, brother, but I am an ordinary householder, not one following any sort of what's the word? Any sort of difficult tasks, right? So I'm just ordinary. I'm not sure if I can follow all these things that you're telling me. Now look at what Prabodh is saying. Ordinary householders also stick to the 8 fundamentals. There are 8 fundamentals and renounce 7 evil practices. Abstaining from the use of honey is one of the 8 fundamentals for or of a householder. Okay, next. What are fundamentals? Explain. Who spoke? Okay, Prabodh. In reality, the fundamentals of a liberated minded householder are faith, knowledge, and absorption, but externally he abstains from the use of wine, meat, honey, and 5 kinds of fruits which abound in moving small creatures. Look, it is saying wine. Now, I'm sure like none of you are drinking wine because all of you are young in age. But there's a possibility when you grow up and when you're a teenager that you might want to try it because all your friends are doing it. Maybe when you go to university, Purva, maybe when you go to university, that you might want to try it. Now, the choice is yours. Nobody can tell you, nobody can force you to do anything. But remember, if you consume it, you will be binding a lot of negative karma. So the choice is yours. It could be wine, it could be beer, it could be spirits. I mean, they've only used the word wine over here, so that does not mean it excludes beer or any spirits. So it's got nothing to do with being a Jain, but any human being should not be consuming these foods. Who was that? Okay, so any human being should not be consuming wine, meat, honey, or any sort of these 5 kinds of fruits, which we will just talk about in about 2 to 3 minutes. So what does wine contain? I think just maybe everybody has a rough idea of how wine is made. They step on hundreds and thousands of grapes and allow it to sit in like a wooden barrel for many, many years. It could be sometimes it's 5 years, sometimes it's more than that, because they say older the wine, it tastes better. That's what they say. But remember, it is rotten, it is decomposed, it has got so many microbes, it has got so many coronaviruses. This is what you need to understand. When something is rotten, when something is not fresh, have you seen when your fruit, when you don't eat it for a few days and it is left in the kitchen, it starts to get fungus on the skin? I think everybody has seen it in the house. Sometimes when we forget to eat and it just stays in the kitchen for a few days, on the skin of the fruit, there's a lot of fungus. It becomes greenish in color. At times there's a whitish color on it. So this is exactly what happens inside your stomach. Inside your stomach, Dia and Anya, you will get a lot of fungus, a lot of bacteria, and a lot of not coronaviruses per se, but a lot of viruses in the body. Is that clear, Dia and Anya? So now you have to think about it and you have to be strong-minded. Remember last week, who did we talk about who was a very strong-minded woman? Who remembers? Who is Apurva? Anjana, Sati Anjana Devi. So we spoke about Anjana. Remember how she was kicked out of the house? I think Hanika missed the story because her internet connectivity was not very strong. But Anjana Devi, she was thrown in the forest by her in-laws and also her parents. Hanika, can you imagine that? But she did not give up. She did not curse them. She was not hateful, or she did not start consuming the wrong kinds of foods because she was in anger. So she was a strong-minded woman. Now you have to be the same. Banthi, Dia, Anya, all of us, we have to be the same. We cannot succumb, we cannot give in. When we grow up, or like when you go to university, you cannot give in, because at university you might give in, at home you might not, because at home the environment is different, and at university the environment is different. Isn't it true, Purva?
Yes.
Isn't it true, Ahil? Hetwi, Hetwi, I can't see you. Vritti? So, okay, fine. So it is not good for your immune system. It is not good for your mind. It is not good for anybody. You will like lose your mind. You will start to dance like crazy, or maybe you will do wrong things. After that, you might regret because you drank a lot. So you should be careful. So you should be careful that once you are at university, remember this lesson that you're learning today. Now, your friends might tell you that eggs are very good to eat. It's got high, it's got it's like very high in protein, for example. But let me tell you, because I'm a qualified nutritionist, and let me tell you that eggs take a long time to digest. If you look at our teeth, the human teeth, Panthi, Ahil, the teeth are blunt. If you, Dia and Anya, if you look at our teeth, they are not like of a lion's. It's not sharp. So we don't have the correct structure of teeth to digest meat and eggs. Of course, eggs have got protein, no doubt that eggs have got protein. But my question to you is that protein in a digestible form? Can your stomach digest that protein? It cannot. Look, Fiona is saying no. It cannot digest. The reason is that that protein structure is not built for the human body to digest. When they advertise and when they say that eggs have got protein, that is a correct fact. Eggs most definitely have protein, Ahil. But what it doesn't have the correct structure. Now, I will ask you another question. If you give a female human lady's milk to maybe a goat, can he really digest? Or can that the kid of the goat, will he be able to digest the goat's milk? The answer is obvious, that he will be able to digest his mother's milk, meaning the goat's milk, rather than the human milk. So remember, when something is advertised as, oh, this has got protein, it is correct. It has got protein, but it is not in a digestible form for the human body. Hanika, is that clear? Good. Ahil, is that clear? Hetvi, are you understanding? Say yes or no.
It's not good.
You're okay, fine, it's okay. Then you will listen to the recorded class. Okay. Vritti, are you understanding why we should not be having eggs?
Yeah.
Dia and Anya, are you understanding? Raise your hand if you're eating egg. Nobody is eating over here. Oh, okay. Anya is eating. Who else is eating egg? Nobody. Very good. Hanika is not eating. Hanika is a good girl. Okay, so I am not going to force you, or I am not going to ask you.
Excuse me, Komal auntie.
Yeah.
Is it all right if you eat it in like cakes and pancakes like that?
No, it is not okay. Okay.
It still won't get digested.
It still will not get digested, and you will still build a lot of bad karma, even if you eat it in pancakes. Okay, so you can always make pancakes. Hanika, let me talk. Hanika, let me talk. You can always make pancakes without eggs, because at home also we eat pancakes, but we don't put egg in it, and it tastes really delicious. Then you can put if you like banana, if you like strawberries, if you like chocolate sauce, whatever you like, something that is not violent, something that is not disturbing the ecology of the nature. We should be consuming such foods. So eggs, Dia, Anya, where are you? Okay, here I can see you.
Madam,
Yeah.
I only eat egg in cake. I don't eat like.
Yeah, then remember there are so many eggless recipes. There are so many eggless
Yeah.
recipes. Okay, everybody go and call your mummies. Go and call your mummies. Hetwi, Dia, Anya, Panthi. Go and call your mummies. Hanika, Hetal, Vritti. So
Excuse me, Komal auntie, my mom is not around. Actually, I'm only with my grandmother in my house. So,
it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Not to worry, okay? Fine. So everybody else go and call your mummies. Okay. Okay. Hello to all the mummies. Okay. So here we have a class today. Hi Shital, Manju, Sejal, Hetal. Okay. So here today we are studying Balbodh Patmala part 3, and we are studying what to eat and what not to eat. Now remember, I am not forcing you. I am not telling you you should stop this or you should not do that. That is your choice. That is your choice, okay? Whatever you wish to do is your choice. Just understand what the book is trying to explain. The book is saying, and just for your information, I'm a qualified nutritionist, so I will just be giving you a little bit nutritional information as well. So the book is saying from the beginning that we should not be consuming honey. The reason is that Acharya Bhagwan and Arihant Bhagwan, remember that both Acharya Bhagwan and Arihant Bhagwan have got far more knowledge than thousands of scientists put together. Scientists obviously are doing in their capacity and they're doing good work. But what we need to understand that Acharya Bhagwan and Arihant Bhagwan has got complete knowledge. So Arihant Bhagwan is saying, and Acharya Bhagwan is saying that we should not be consuming honey. Now, some of us might question that it is very good for health, or maybe it is good for certain illnesses, but understand what is honey, and then you make a choice yourself whether you want to consume it or you don't want to consume it. Honey is the secretion of bees. From our body, we are removing stool, we are removing urine and mucus. So we can't eat that because that is unhygienic and it is rather filthy and just horrible even to think about it. In the same way, honey is an excretion of bees. And it is not healthy, number one, and number two, it is causing a lot of violence. A lot of violence it is causing. So when you have a cough, cold, and maybe you need, and like maybe if you're consuming honey, instead you can take hardar, you can take turmeric powder, and you can take a little bit of gourd. Gourd is the jaggery powder, right? So this is what you can do instead. So, and like in like biscuits or cakes, in case if you're using honey, or maybe if you're using honey in milkshakes or anything of like that sort, you can be using brown sugar, which is a lot more healthier. And in case you don't want to use brown sugar, you can put gourd, or you can put raisins if you like the taste of it, or you can put dates. You know, you can make a date paste, and it tastes really delicious when you like put it in milkshakes or anything of that sort when you don't want to consume honey. So these are your options. So it's not that we that's the only option for us. The other, look, it's like saying that the secretion of the beehive, it is nothing but the secretion of the beehive and involves violence of countless moving creatures. One should never take it. Now, this is the message Arihant Bhagwan and Acharya Bhagwan are giving us. I'm emphasizing on this point that they are far more knowledgeable than thousands of scientists put together. એટલો વિશ્વાસ હોવો જોઈએ that our Acharya Bhagwan આપણને બધું સાચું કહે છે, that Acharya Bhagwan is speaking the truth to us. Now let's scroll down. At the moment, I'm sure that no like child is consuming wine like any or meat in the house. I'm just assuming, or eggs. Somebody mentioned that maybe they're having it in cakes and in pastries or in pancakes, but otherwise they like don't consume it. So my like suggestion is that we also make pancakes at home, but we don't put eggs in it. They turn out very nice. If you put a little bit of soda bicarbonate, they turn out very fluffy and very nice to eat at home. The other option is for cakes. I mean, everybody knows hundreds of recipes are there for eggless cakes. So we should not be consuming unnecessarily. We should not be doing violence, because it is not good for our body, because the protein structure in the egg is not fit enough for the human body to digest. Eggs do have protein, that is correct, but it is not fit enough for the human body to digest because we do not have those digestive enzymes. Point number 2 is that in certain books I have read that eggs take almost 48 hours to digest, which is an extremely long time. You are taxing your digestive system. So again, we should not be consuming eggs. Where can you get protein from? You get 21% protein from lentils, arad dal, or maybe moong dal, or any form of a dal. And you get 9% protein from meat and eggs. I repeat, you get 21% protein from dal, and you get 9% protein from eggs. So Panthi, Purva, Fiana, Briella, we all have to think about this. Isn't it true, Ahin? Isn't it true, Hanika, that now we have to think about it, that if we are consuming eggs for protein, we're getting far more protein in dal compared to eating eggs in cakes or maybe in pastries or cakes, whatever it might be. Right? Okay, so now meat. My assumption is that maybe nobody's eating meat in the house. But in case if you're eating, again, I am not asking you to stop. All what I'm telling you is understand what is written in this book, and then you make a decision what you should be doing. Meat, from a nutritional angle, we do not have the teeth like a lion. We are herbivorous beings. Because we are herbivorous beings, we cannot digest it. We don't have those kinds of digestive enzymes to digest meat. And it is highly acidic. One more point for eggs, which I'd read in one of the books, and if you want, even I can send you a picture of that just for your information, that eggs have got a high content of sulfuric acid, which is a very strong acid, which hurts your stomach. Hanika, sit nicely in class. Don't do that. So where was I? That eggs contain a high content of sulfuric acid, which is difficult for the stomach, which is taxing, and which is shocking for the stomach. So this is the message there is here. Now, even alcohol, my assumption is that most of you are not consuming. And if you are, again, understand what it is, and then make a decision what you should do. So wine, again, is a fermented food. It is fermented, and then we are wondering, where are we getting these viruses from, bacterial infections? Any food which is fermented is not good for the body. It is not good for the body. It could be beer, it could be wine, it could be any form of other spirits. So these are the basic things. If we just understand, and then if you make an informed decision, you will be able to make it with much more weight as compared to just stopping it because it is written in Shastra. Don't do it like that. First, make up your mind and look at it from a scientific angle as well, why it is not good for the body, why it is not good for your mind, because you are very young right now and you have many years to study. You don't want your mind to become weak. These foods make your mind weak, and they make you do things that you are not in your senses or in your control. So you might consume a lot of alcohol, and then after a day, you might regret some of the things that you might have done. You will not do it right now, that is for sure. But this is a message for you from now. When you go to university, you will be not pressurized necessarily, but you might want to try it simply because everyone is doing it at university. So at university, you can still enjoy, you can still have a lot of fun without the alcohol. So remember this lesson, not just for today, but maybe 20 years from now, 10 years from now, when you might be in a state where you might have to make a choice and where you might have to say, no, I will not consume it because my mind is strong. Right? Is that clear, everybody? Hanika, is that clear? Ahil?
Yes.
Briella? Okay, so now moving on to the remaining foods. Now, these foods, I don't even think we see it in Kenya. In fact, even in India, they don't really eat it. Bar, people, umar, kathamar, and pakar. So I honestly don't think any one of us really are consuming it, but it is just written here. Many small and big moving creatures are found in these. It is therefore necessary for the householder never to use them. Scroll down. I heard in the religious discourse that without the knowledge of the self, meaning Atma, all renunciation is redundant. Should we not therefore know our souls first? So now this is something that we have been studying for a very, very long time. That the nature of the soul, the essence of Jainism is to experience the soul. Because we are not this body. I am not Komal, you are not Purva, you are not Hanika, but you are a soul. So what this paragraph is saying, you might leave meat, eggs, etc., but don't think that that is your duty. Your duty is actually to experience the soul. And of course, you should not be having these poor habits as well. This is what it is trying to say. So don't make the side dish your main dish. The side dish is that for your good state of mind, for the body to remain healthy, you should not be consuming all these poor quality foods. But the essence of Jainism is actually to experience the soul. So that is the main dish. And the side dish is saying that if you want to have a good quantity of your main meal, your like side dish has to be something that is nourishing. So something that will help you in your spiritual path is that when you don't consume these negative foods, this will keep your mind and body both clean and stable. So now like Prabodh is saying, yes, brother, knowledge of the self is in fact the way to the liberation of the soul, because all of you are all of you are such good children, so like extremely well behaved in class, and you deserve to be happy for infinite period of time. Yes, brother, knowledge of the self, meaning soul, is in fact the way to the liberation of the soul. But tell me, if drunkards and meat eaters can have the knowledge of the self, it is therefore necessary for those hankering after the liberation of their souls to abide these 8 fundamentals. Look what it is saying again. It is repeating what we just said. It is saying that we should have the main aim should be experience of the soul, but also we should be having these good habits. For example, let's take an example so you will understand. Panthi, if you want to come first in class, will you be sleeping late and not doing your homework?
No.
Then what habits will you have?
Can you repeat?
Okay, so if you want to come first in your class, will you be sleeping late and not finishing your homework? So you said no. Then my next question was, then what habits will you have if you want to come first in class?
You have to study hard.
Yes, you have to study hard. You have to sleep on time so that you get enough rest. Isn't it true, Dia and Anya? Isn't it true? Because both of you are such smart girls. So if you want to come first in class, you have to also have good habits, correct? Or like will you like hang around in your school with children who don't finish their homework? Will you do that? No, you will also not have bad company. You will always have friends who always want to be successful in life because you want to be successful in life. Isn't it true, Hetvi? Right? Isn't it true, Vritti?
Yes.
Yes. So in the same way, if you want to experience infinite happiness, then you should also have good habits which help you to like achieve that goal. Now, the next are questions. 1, 2, and are there any more questions? Okay, no more questions. So this is your homework. Panthi, Hetvi, Fiona, Briella, Dia, Anya, this is your homework. Vritti, Ahil, explain clearly what you mean by abstination from wine, meat, and honey. That's question number 1. Question number 2, what are the 5 Udambar fruits? Why should we abstain from them? So very, very easy questions. Extremely easy questions. Isn't it true, Ahil?
Madam,
Yes.
will you send it or we?
Yes, yeah. Actually, sorry, I have not sent you this book. I will just send it to you and Hetwi. I will just send you the book on message, and then and then you can print it. Okay. So this is chapter number 2. Isn't it true, Vishal? Just show me the. Yeah, sorry, it's lesson number 3. So your homework is, Hanika, lesson number 3, question 1 and question 2. Purva, is that clear? That this is your homework, right? Okay, so now let's move on to lesson number 4. Senses. Mother, why is Papa called Jain Sahib? Because he's a Jain. A devotee of Lord Jin is a Jain, or one who follows the teachings of Lord Jin is a Jain. In fact, one who follows the path shown by Jin Dev is a real Jin. So now, who is Jin? Who is Jinendra Bhagwan? Now the daughter is asking, who is a Jin? Vishal, you can scroll down. One who has won over delusion, attachment, and aversion, as also one senses is a jinn. Okay, so now let's try to understand what this is trying to tell us. Hanika, who is a Jinendra Bhagwan?
He's one of the Tirthankars.
No, there are 24 Tirthankars, but they can be infinite Jinn or Jinendra Bhagwans. Okay, so who is a Jinn? Ahil?
I'm not sure.
Panthi?
I am not sure.
No problem. Piana?
One who has won over delusion, attachment, and aversion.
Yeah, very good. So that is written in the book, but you already know this, Fiona. Who is a Jinendra Bhagwan? One who has infinite knowledge. Isn't it true?
Yeah.
Purva? Purva, who
Yes.
has infinite knowledge?
Jinendra Bhagwan.
And who has infinite happiness? Ahil, wait for 10 minutes and then you can go. Ahil, who has infinite knowledge?
Sid Bhagwan and Acharya Bhagwan.
No, not Acharya Bhagwan. Arihant Bhagwan and Siddh Bhagwan. So Arihant Bhagwan is a jinn. He is a Jinendra. Panthi, who is a Jinendra? I have just said it.
Arihant Bhagwan.
Arihant Bhagwan. Very good. Hetvi, who is a Jinendra?
Arihant Bhagwan.
Anika, who is Arihant Bhagwan?
He's a jinn.
He's a jinn. Very good.
And I
Okay.
also wanted to ask that
Yeah.
are all of the Tirthankars Jain? Or
Yeah,
are
all
they
of them are Jain.
vegetarian?
No, all of them are Jain.
So none
Why?
of them have consumed potatoes or underroot foods.
Yeah, that is also true, what you said. Okay. One who has won over delusion, attachment, and aversion are also one's senses is a jinn, Dota. Are our senses, how many senses have we got, Ahil? Quickly, Ahil.
5.
Okay, Briella, name them.
I have 5, but like
What are the-
water,
No, what are the 5 senses?
5
Sheila?
senses.
Name the 5
Ah.
senses. Say it. Sight.
sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch.
Very good. Hanika, repeat.
Sight.
No.
smell,
Look at me. Look at my picture. You always start with touch. Touch. Then
Touch.
is the mouth. Mouth is taste. Ahil,
taste,
look at me. Next,
smell,
Panthi, look at me. Hetvi, look at me.
sight,
And last.
hearing.
Now, Purva, repeat. Start from here.
Touch,
Next.
taste, smell, and sight.
Last.
Hearing.
Very good. So this is how you have to remember. You don't just say randomly. Okay. Yes, daughter. Senses do help the worldly beings. Okay, wait, no, we missed out one part. Are our senses our enemies, which are to be conquered? They are helpful in gaining knowledge. Those bodily organs which help in gaining knowledge are senses. Okay, so maybe it's new for Panthi and Hetvi today. So listen to what the other students are saying. Purva, and then next I will be asking Ahil. Is this body seeing? Remember, I had used an example which all of you had understood. Dia and Anya, you had understood this very well. Also like Vritti had understood it very well. Vritti, don't lie down in class. Sit straight. You are not in your room. Sit in the class properly. Okay, Dia and Anya. Dia and Anya, what example had I used? Ahil remembers. Ahil? Fiona, do you remember? Okay, wait. Fiona, do you remember?
Because the body is like a mask.
Very good. Can everybody clap for Fiona? Well done, Fiona. So what I was looking for, that Panthi, Hetvi, the body is like a mask. Ahil, Purva, the body is like a mask. When you put a mask on your face, when you go for a party, is your mask seeing or is your eyes seeing? What is the answer, Purva?
Your eyes.
Very good. Hanika, so now my question is the soul seeing, or is the cover, this cover which is here, the body, is the body giving knowledge? I can't hear you.
What cover?
The cover meaning the body. Dia, Anya?
Is
So-
the soul seeing or the body, right?
Yes.
I think it's the body.
Okay, so that's your answer. Dia and Anya?
It is the soul.
Well done. Clap for these two girls. Very good. Remember the body, Ahil. I will just answer your question. 1 minute. The body is like a mask, Hanika. Hanika, look at me over here. The body is like a mask. Now look at my action, everybody. I am just lifting my body, including my hair, my face, my hands, everything. I'm just pulling it up gently and I'm putting it just beside me. This body that you're seeing. Now, is the eyes where, or the nose or the mouth or the ears, is like the knowledge getting absorbed through these 5 channels, or is it coming through the soul? Who has the answer? Raise your hand. Purva.
The soul.
Well done, Purva. Hanika.
The soul.
Very good. Briella.
The soul.
Hetwi.
The soul.
Very good. Clap for Hetwi because it is her first class. Well done, Hetwi. Ahil, now ask your question.
Can other gods from like other religions, do they go to moksha?
Okay, to like answer your question, I will explain to you who has infinite knowledge.
Sid Bhagwan.
And Arihant Bhagwan. Say, repeat.
Sid Bhagwan and Arihant Bhagwan.
So if one becomes an Arihant, one can most definitely go to moksha. But the prerequisite is, if you want to study medicine, for example, first you have to do the 5 years of MBBS. Is that true? That is true. So if only you do the 5 years of MBBS, that's when you become a doctor. In the same way, if you want to become a Bhagwan, first you have to become a sadhu. After you become a sadhu, then you become Arihant Bhagwan, then you become Siddh Bhagwan. So to answer your question, anybody can become Arihant Bhagwan, but this is the process. Like Vishal uncle will just show us that picture of the steps and then we end today's class. So there's a picture of 14 steps. That is the journey anyone can take to become a Bhagwan. So I hope I have answered your question. And adjust your camera so we can see you properly. Purva, also your camera is not very good. Look at this Hetvi, Panthi, and also Hanika, because I think in the last class her internet wasn't very good. Hanika, I will answer your question. Give me 2 minutes. There are 14 steps over here. Also, if you have seen on the WhatsApp group, I've put Fiana's picture. She has also drawn it quite nicely. There are 14 steps over here. And there's a process. Now I'm going to quickly ask you, let's see who has the best memory. I think all of you have it. Dia, Anya, be ready to raise your hand. Hanika, put your hand down for now. And when I ask you the question, let's see who raises their hand first. In which Gunastan, in which step is Arihant Bhagwan? Purva.
In the 13th Gunastan.
Excellent. Ahil?
In the 13th Gunastan.
Hanika?
13th Gunastan.
Well done. Okay. Now, in which Gunastan is okay, sorry. In which Gunastan does one become a monk? Vishal.
6th Gunastan.
Well done. So, in which Gunastan does one become a monk? Dia and Anya. Dia, Anya?
6.
Okay, Dia, Anya, in which Gunastan does one become Arihant Bhagwan?
13.
Well done. Now, okay, now I'm going to ask you a new question. Let's see who can answer it first. In which Gunistan is Siddh Bhagwan? Fiana.
He didn't have any.
Not any.
Okay. Who else has raised their hand? Hanika.
He is in no Gunistan.
Well done. Purva.
He has no Gunistan.
Ahil.
He has no Gunistan.
Vritti. Vritti is not answering questions.
It has no Gunistan.
Clap for Vritti. Well done, Vritti. Panthi.
Has no Gunistan.
Hetvi.
It has no Gunistan.
Okay, very good. Now I'm going to ask you one more question. In which Gunistan, now listen carefully, this is a very easy answer, you already know the answer. In which Gunistan was, look, I'm like using the word was, Mahavir Bhagwan. Now answer. It is simple, you already know this. Ahil.
Was it the fourth Gunistan?
Wrong. Dia Anya. Quick.
No Gunistan.
No. Listen to my question carefully. Ahil, we only have 2 minutes and then you can go. Just wait 2 minutes. It is not that late. You will get enough time to sleep, okay? How old are you, Ahil?
11.
Yeah, so you will get enough time to sleep. Have you finished your homework? Okay, yeah, fine then. Try to listen to this because this will be very useful to you one day, okay? We only have 5 minutes. So now let's not waste time. Okay, so listen to my question, Ahil. You already know the answer. So does Purva. Everybody knows the answer. In which Gunistan, in which step was Mahavir? Now listen, Bhagawan. Briella.
13th.
Clap for Briella, everybody. Well done, Briella. Ahil, what's your answer? 13th Gunistan. Now listen to my question. In what Gunistan is Mahavir Bhagwan right now? Panthi, try.
In the 14th Gunistan.
Okay, so that's a good try, Panthi, because anyway, you are new, but that is a good try. Dia, Anya?
No Gunistan.
Well done. Look at these 7-year-olds. Dia, Anya, Briella. They are answering all the questions correctly. Clap for the 3 girls. Briella, Dia, and Anya. Now, in what Gunistan? Listen carefully. Because Ahil, you know the answer, so does Vritti. Vritti, you also know the answer, and even Purva knows the answer. In what Gunistan was Rushabdev Bhagwan? Ahil.
The 13th Gunistan.
Clap for Ahil. Look, now he has understood the logic. In what Gunistan is Rushabdev Bhagwan? Vritti. Vritti.
13th Gunistan.
No, not 13th. Okay. Where is Rushabdev Bhagwan? Right answer? Fiana can answer.
No Gunistan.
No Gunistan. Purva, no. Okay, so that's the answer. But my question was that in what Gunistan, in what state is Rushabdev Bhagwan right now? Purva?
Siddh.
Well done. Now look, now like Purva is beginning to understand the logic of all this. So now my question is, in what Gunistan is Rushabdev Bhagwan? Hanika, try. Hanika, try. You already know the answer.
6.
No, not 6th. What Gunastan has like Siddh Bhagwan got? No Gunastan, correct? So what Gunastan is in the present tense is Rishabdev Bhagwanin, because remember now he's Siddh Bhagwan. So what Gunastan has he got? Hanika, try.
No Gunastan, I'm thinking.
Well done, Hanika. Okay, let's end the session. Who would like to sing in any like devotional song? Who would like to sing? Ahil, have you been practicing the song I have sent to you?
I'm going to start.
Okay, no problem. I think Hanika wants to sing today. So Hanika, you can please sing.
Normal, I have
I
to drop
don't
off,
want-
okay?
Yeah, no
I
problem.
don't-
I will just finish in 2 minutes.
I don't want to sing any song, but I had a question.
Okay, what is your question?
Is like moksha only for Jain gods or it's for like everyone?
It is for all souls who become Arihant. Okay? It is
So
for
even Christian souls.
any soul which attains Arihant position is called a Bhagwan. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anybody would like to sing? Okay, so now I will just teach you one song. Just give me 1 second. I'll just quickly open the page. And then we finish the class in 1 minute, okay? अरिहंतों को नमस्कार है, सिद्धों को सादर वंदन, आचार्यों को नमस्कार है, उपाध्याय को है वंदन, और लोक के सर्व साधु को विनय सहित है वंदन, पंच परम परमेष्टि प्रभु को बार बार मेरा वंदन, बार बार मेरा वंदन. So which Panch Parmeshti did I name, and then we finish the class? Ahil.
Was it Ravan?
Arihant. No. Which Panch Parmeshti did I name? So I said one, Arihant. Then अरिहंतों को नमस्कार है, सिद्धों को सादर वंदन. Okay, Purva.
Siddh.
Arihant, Siddh. Next. Diya, Anya.
Acharya and
Next.
Upadhyaya.
And Sadhu. Okay, so I think everyone did well for today. You have to remember, and especially the last session was interesting because everybody answered nicely today. Let's meet next week. Take care and have a nice week ahead of you. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.